Yasodanandana Vrajajana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayo Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Gurudev. Go Premanandi. Jaya Vishipa Padamahansa Padavikacharya Satoda Sata Sri Srimad. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada Ki, Anantikoti Vaishnava Ki. Prem Sekaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasiri Gaur Bhaktivinda Ki. Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Go Gopinath Shamakun Radhakun Giri Govardhan Ki. Grantara Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Samaveda Bhaktivinda Ki. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories to the sum of devotees. All glories, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Hari Hari Bol. I'm back here again because today is who knows what today is? Panihati Chittadahi Mahosava Ki. So I am from New Panihati Dham in Atlanta. And we don't have Bhakti Purushottam Maharaj here, so. At least Naru Gopal, they know those pastimes very deeply, right? So we'll do the verse, speak a little bit, and then we'll talk about this unique hidden festival of Lord Nityananda, Sri Nityananda Ram Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naranchaivam Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Uttojaya Mudirayet Nasapareshu Abareshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. I messed that up, didn't I? Bhagavad-uttama shloke Bhakti Bhavati. Nice. I really got confused. I'm 68 years old. My mind kind of, any minute it can just. We'll just get to the last part. I remember that one. Shrinvata Swakata Krishna. Punya Shravana Kirtanam. Hriryansto Hibadrani. Vidunoti Suritsitam. We'll stop there. So today's verse is Canto 2, Chapter 7, verse 33. And Lord Brahma is summarizing to Narada all the pastimes that are occurring. And it's interesting why he did that. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, Krishnadas Kaviraj is the author, of course. And in the Madhya Lila, I think maybe the first chapter or so, he summarizes all the pastimes. But he has good reason because he's very old. He's in his 90s. And he says he's practically blind. His hands tremble, but yet he has to write. There's no computer. He's not this, you know. And he's not writing, you know, he's writing like they did in 500 years ago, maybe on some leaves or some wood blocks. So very difficult circumstances. So he decided to summarize Mahaprabhu's pastimes in case he died before he finished. Srila Prabhupada also, when he came to America, as we know, he had 2 heart attacks on that boat. He didn't think he would even arrive at the shore alive. After his second heart attack, he said to pray to Krishna. Not prayed, but he said, "Today I had a very wonderful vision of you. You came to me in such a sweet way." Imagine, he's having a heart attack, right? And he says, he could see Krishna running in the fields with the cows. He said, "I will gladly be happy to come run with you in those fields." So this is his mood of dying, not like, "Oh, please give me some more time. I haven't finished my mission, and you know, I have to." You know. No, whatever Krishna's arranging. So of course Krishna didn't take him at that time. But he also summarized the Krishna book. Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very nice, isn't it? He also did, he called Teachings of Lord Chaitanya. Summarized Mahaprabhu's pastimes right away. And then he began working on the Bhagavatam, which he had already started in Vṛndāvana. So, strangely enough, it's like Krishna stole the manuscript for his Bhagavad Gita, which practically he had completed. But his typewriter, everything was stolen in one of the first places he stayed. So he had to do it all over again. You think, why does Krishna do that? Right? You would think, you know, he's a great exalted devotee. Everything should be very easy, right? Is that what we assume? But it's the opposite in spiritual life, actually. He wants to glorify his devotee by putting them in these difficult circumstances, you know. So when you have difficulty, don't see it as punishment. You have to see it like that, actually. He's giving you a chance to glorify you. Mamcha yo vyabhicharina. You have the great determination to Krishna, right? Bhakti yogena sevate. You render that seva, bhakti yoga. And when you do that, what happens? Saguna samatityaitam. Now you rise above the gunas. And when you rise above the gunas, Brahma bhuyaya kapate. Now you experience Brahman. But devotees, pure devotees don't care about Brahman happiness. No, is Krishna happy? Is Krishna happy? Yeah. So, but it's okay for us. We're in the beginning stage. I want Brahman happiness. I don't want to feel Maya's kicking on me all the time. That's okay. We can gradually, as we become purified, and those things aren't important anymore. So that's kind of the mood here of Brahma in this chapter. And we'll read the Sanskrit in the purport. Kidnappers vane niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ. Kidnappers vane niśi. Niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ. Rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena. Rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena. Uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ. Uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ. hartur hariṣyati śiro dhanadānugasya. hartur hariṣyati śiro dhanadānugasya. Kidnappers vane niśi niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ. Rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena. Uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ. hartur hariṣyati śiro dhanadānugasya. Vaishnavas chant. Anyone? krīḍan vane niśi niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ. rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena. uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ. hartur śiro dhanadānugasya. krīḍan vane niśi niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ. rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena. uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ. hartur hariṣyati śiro dhanadānugasya. Vaishnavis and ladies, one lady, try. krīḍan vane niśi niśākara-raśmi-gauryāṁ Rāsonmukhaḥ kala-padāyata-mūrcchitena uddīpita-smara-rujāṁ vraja-bhṛd-vadhūnāṁ hartur hariṣyati śiro dhanadānugasya. One more? Okay. Krīḍan, while engaged in his pastimes. Vane, in the forest of Vṛndāvana. Niśi, nocturnal. Niśākara, the moon. Raśmi-gauryāṁ, white moonshine. Rāsa-unmukhaḥ, desiring to dance with. Kala-padāyata, accompanied by sweet songs. Vraja-bhṛt, in melodious music. Uddīpita, awakened. Smara-rujām, sexual desires. Vraja-bhṛt, the inhabitants of Vrajabhūmi. Vadhūnām, of the wives. Hartur, of the kidnappers. hariṣyati, will vanquish. Śiro, the head. Dhanada-anugasya, of the follower of the rich Kuvera. Translation. When the Lord was engaged in his pastimes of the rasa dance in the forest of Vṛndāvana, enlivening the sexual desires of the wives of the inhabitants of Vṛndāvana by sweet and melodious songs, a demon of the name Sankhachuta, a rich follower of the treasure of heaven, Kuvera, kidnapped the damsels, and the Lord severed his head from his trunk. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. We should carefully note that the statements described herein are the statements of Brahmaji to Narada. And he was speaking to Narada of events that would happen in the future during the advent of Lord Krishna. The pastimes of the Lord are known to the experts who are able to see past, present, and future. Brahmaji, being one of them, foretold what would happen in the future. The killing of Sankhachuta by the Lord is a more recent incident after the Rasa Lila, and not exactly a simultaneously affair. In the previous verses, we have seen also that the Lord's engagement in the affairs of the forest fire was described only with his pastimes of punishing the Kaliya snake. And similarly, the pastimes of the rasa dance and the killing of Sankhachuta are also described herein. The adjustment is that all these incidents would take place in the future, after the time when it was being foretold by Brahmaji to Narada. The demon Sankhachuta was killed by the Lord during his pastimes of Horika in the month of Phalguna. And the same ceremony is still observed in India by the burning of the effigy of Sankhachuta one day prior to the Lord's pastimes at Horika, generally known as, who knows what that is? Holy. So many reasons they have holy, right? So this is another reason. Generally, the future appearance and activities of the Lord or his incarnations are foretold in the scriptures. And thus the pseudo-incarnations are unable to cheat persons who are in knowledge of the events as they're described in the authoritative scriptures. Om Agani Chimiranjasa Gananjanan Shalakaya Chakshami Chamina Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Srila Prabhupada ki. So just some brief notes on this. It's interesting. Prabhupada's pointing out how Brahmaji could see all these events occurring. So those of you who have done Bhakti Shastri, raise your hand. Right? So we know why, right? Krishna has 64 qualities. And then 50 of those qualities, even the jivas have. But they're very minute. Just like you take a drop of water from the ocean, and you can understand the entire ocean by analyzing that one drop. But that one drop is pretty insignificant, isn't it? If I dropped it on your head, you wouldn't even notice. But let the ocean fall on you. Which it does sometimes, right? Tsunamis and hurricanes. Finish in a second. So Krishna's like that. He's like the ocean. And don't forget, we are the drop. So don't become proud, you know. Whatever qualities we have, we become proud, don't we? I'm excellent basketball player, football player, Sanskrit is, so many things. We're just a drop in comparison to Krishna. So sometimes, most times, the jiva takes the position of Lord Brahma. So that position requires some extra qualities. You know, you have to manage the universe. We can't even manage our own life, right? But you have to manage the entire universe. With this, you know, you see them struggling to manage one country, one city, one ISKCON temple. So it's such a hard assignment. He has to have 4 heads to do it. And it mentions that they get 5 more qualities for Shiva, Brahmaji, and Vishnu. So one of those qualities is all cognizant. They know everything. Like Krishna's all cognizant. That's the super soul, right? He's in the heart and he's in the atom. So he knows everything. Just like we're cognizant of our body. You think about it, it describes that the jiva is atomic in comparison to the body. It's almost like we're inside of a universe. That's how small we are. But because we're cognizant of everything, we feel like, no, this is me. Arms, legs, all of this is me. But you're just an atomic particle inside. So I'm pinching myself. Does anyone feel it? No, because you're not cognizant of my body. The super soul, he knows everything. And similarly, Brahmaji, he gets that potency to know. Because he has to manage. Just like your little toe, that's insignificant. Who cares for a little toe, right? But if you kick it, immediately so much attention goes to it, you know? Take me to the clinic immediately. So much pain. So Brahmaji, he knows about what's going to happen before it's happened. And at the same time, he still doesn't know everything, right? Because he gets bewildered, doesn't he? Yeah, that pastime of the, what they call it, the Brahma Vimohan Lila. Krishna finally comes, but all he knows is Vishnu. He hasn't seen Govinda. What they speak of, you know, Makanchor and baby Krishna. So when the Leela begins, of course, naturally he comes and he's, what? That is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? You know, like, imagine, little boy like that. You know, Supreme Personality of Godhead, come on. But Krishna is so expert. Even though all the potencies and everything, the power is there, he is the perfect little boy. So it's bewildering. So even he becomes bewildered and he has to, let me do a test. And then Krishna shows him very clearly, yeah, I'm still Supreme Person of Godhead. You see? I'm the perfect little boy, and I'm also the Supreme Person of Godhead. Want to try me again? Come on. Come on. No. All those prayers. I didn't know. I'm so sorry. Even Indra got bewildered. And after he realized his mistake, he ran to Brahmaji. What do I do? He said, don't ask me. He knew Brahma had made the same mistake. I can't help you. Go away. So this is a little bit of that passport. And then Prabhupada mentions that there's so many pastimes coming in the future. So Mahaprabhu's Leela, that is even more secret, isn't it? So because he's coming to experience being a devotee of Krishna. Why? Because he's the Supreme Person of Godhead. But devotional service is so sweet that he wants to taste that nectar also. Right? That seems bewildering, doesn't it? Why can't he do both? Yeah, that's why he comes as Mahaprabhu. He does both. And then when he comes, because he's devotee, he has all his associates with him too. He's very merciful. Everybody gets to participate. Karanadaksha Vishnu, who wanted to see Krishna during his Leela. Remember, he had to perform some trick, steal the sons of that Brahmin, so that he could have darshan. So that Sadashiva comes as Advaita Acharya. He gets to experience everyone, Nityananda, everyone. Even Brahma, he's coming. Everybody gets the mercy. So that Leela, of course, Lord Chaitanya is the focus, just like in Krishna Leela. Most of us, nobody thinks of Balaram very much, do you? That's kind of amazing to me also, in a sense. He's also the Supreme Person of Godhead, 100% the same qualities of Krishna. So it should be 50-50, right? That's the material sense. Everything equal, democracy. You don't get more, we don't get less, we equally enjoy. But that's not the devotional principle. What is the greatest enjoyment? Dasa, dasa, anudasa, anudasa, anudasa. More servant, the more enjoyment, actually. So only the devotees can understand that. So when Balaram, he appears, he becomes the elder brother. And why elder brother? The people from India know what is elder brother, right? Still, elder brother is more service. He's almost like the father. I remember when I was in Philadelphia, and I was the president there for a couple of years, and they wanted to, I should say, expand and make a new temple room. But it was going to take money. We had projected $600,000, like 6 lakh rupees. And it actually turned out to be 12 lakhs dollars, I mean, like $1,200,000. So one of the main devotees there, he's doctor, good job, been a devotee long time. He's probably 75 years old. He has an older brother. They're both doctors. And I was like, well, hey, why don't you and your brother, you can give some money. Go ask your brother. He said, no. I was shocked. Why not? He's my older brother. You don't have that concept in America. India, right? No, you don't ask the older brother. Even though he's been in America all this time, still he had that, he's my, I cannot. I said, okay, I'll ask him. I'll ask. So I always thought about that. That's culture is still there. So Balarama is like that. So actually, therefore, brother has service. So everything, he is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, servitorship. That's how it's described. The original guru. Everything, he's arranging all these services. So naturally, he doesn't want pastimes. He wants everything for Krishna. And so even when he comes as Nityananda, he's not coming directly as the older brother. Still, he takes an older position, right? He is the godbrother of Mahaprabhu's spiritual master, which means he should always be, Advaita and Nityananda. But no, they want to be, we are your servant. So that competition was always going on in that way, in that Leela. Krishna is trying to be a devotee, and they're treating him as Supreme Person of Godhead. So real sweet rasa there. So Nityananda, he appeared much sooner than Mahaprabhu and became avadut. He traveled everywhere. And when Mahaprabhu finally gave up his Nimai Leela, Nimai Pandit, nobody was happy with him as Nimai Pandit. Even Advaita Acharya was like, when is he going to stop this and take up the mission of spreading the holy name? So when that occurred, then Nityananda came, and he was, where was he? Who knows? Where did he meet Lord Chaitanya? Just down the street is that temple. Nanda Acharya's house, Nanda Bhavan. Lord Chaitanya knew. He goes, Nityananda has arrived. Nobody knew who was Nityananda. Immediately go find him. And nobody could find him. So Mahaprabhu, he went and found him. And they met. And then later, as the pastime goes on, Mahaprabhu takes sannyas. And he wants to do his tour. Actually, Nityananda also. I can go, because he had already toured everything. He's like, no, you have to stay behind. I want to go alone. And all the devotees are becoming manifest, Raghunath Das and so many. So this pastime of Nityananda occurred in Panihati. How many people have been to Panihati? Okay, you have to go on the way to Calcutta. You can always stop. Very small place. I'm still amazed how small it is. Not much to see. I think we have a temple there now, don't we, ISKCON? Yeah. It was a spontaneous festival. It wasn't like Janmashtami or something. Mm-hmm. And ISKCON, we have our new Panihati also. Did you all know that? How many people know about new Panihati Dham? Say Haribo. Yeah. Mainly because Jayapataka Maharaj would go. So he would come as his servant sometimes. He's so very fortunate. So wasn't it? Prabhupada visited Atlanta in 1975. He came for the time when Bhaktisiddhanta's appearance day, which is very fortunate. See Prabhupada celebrate his Guru Maharaj's Vyas Puj in Atlanta. Prabhu was there. Bhagavad Mission, yeah, right? I wasn't there. I was in Chicago. As I mentioned before, every temple can't just follow Prabhupada everywhere. Imagine if Prabhupada comes to America, all the temples would shut down, wouldn't they? Everybody just follow him. No, you have to stay and do your seva. So if you want Prabhupada to come, then you have to sell a lot of books. Then he would, how can I not go? Look how many books they've sold, right? So I wasn't there. Missed that pastimes here. But when he came, he had visited, started from Los Angeles. He went to Mexico. He went to Caracas, Venezuela, Miami. Prabhu's from Miami Temple. Jita Vrata Prabhu. You weren't there when Prabhupada visited Miami, were you? No, okay. And then from Miami, he comes to Atlanta. So it was unique. All those temples, the standard in those days, we would install Gaur-Nitai, big like this. So he's seen a lot of Gaur-Nitai. I think the mercy of Gaur-Nitai was really building up in him from seeing all these deities. And then he arrives in Atlanta. And I want to play that arrival address. Can everybody, when I play Prabhupada speaking, can you understand his English? Who can? Okay, so I'll play it. Better than reading it. It's the shortest arrival lecture. I can use this one, I guess. This is okay. And ever. And it's easy to understand because of the fact that he had to understand the movement at that time. Prabhupada had just been in LA. He arrived from Hawaii. And he has been translating the books very fast. He had finished Chaitanya Charitamrita. He finished 5th canto. And I think a couple others, I can't remember. But the BBT, because of the methods at the time, everything was practically by hand. Like, you all know computers now. You know cut and paste? You know that function they say cut? That's because that's what people did. You cut and you pasted physically. That's how you made your pages. You cut and paste and you copied and you... A lot of work. So they could publish one book every 2 months. And when Prabhupada arrived in LA, he was pushing this idea of, you kindly help me. My Guru Maharaj has asked me to print these books in English. So he says, actually, he's saying, we have nothing else to do. We just simply have to satisfy the order of the Guru. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Shite Te Koriya Akya Arana Koriya Nayash. He quoted that. So you kindly help me. Then afterwards he chastised them. Why is it taking so long? So they went back and organized and came back. Oh, we can do 2 books in 1 month. Imagine, 1 book every 2 months. Now they're going to do 2 books in 1 month. I was like, oh, okay, thank you, very nice. But no, I want all 16 volumes in 2 months. What? That is impossible. The word impossible is only in a fool's dictionary. And he walked off. But they had such great faith in Prabhupada. He said, if he says it can be done, that means it can be done. We're just such fools that we don't know how to do it. And Prabhupada said, I want it done by my Vyas Puj Day. That's when he wanted it. In 2 months. And they did it. So it shows you if you had that faith in Guru and you weren't, Krishna will. So this is the kind of mood. He was in this really, and it seemed like the urgent mood to finish his work of his Guru Maharaj, spread Krishna consciousness. And he's seen how all these devotees are coming and surrendering. And then he's going through all these temples he's never visited before. Then he comes to Atlanta. Radha Damodar party is there with Tamal Krishna. Prabhu was on Radha Damodar at that time. And the temple is small, smaller than this. It's packed. Everybody's standing outside the window trying to look in to see Prabhupada. You can't even see him. And so, very overwhelming. So I'm going to play this address of Prabhupada when he arrives in the temple. Oops. Start playing. Oh, please don't do that to me now. Let's see here.
Then by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on February 28th, 1975, in Atlanta, Georgia.
So, I am very glad to see you, and I am coming first of all Mexico City.
Yes.
So, Mexico City, then Caracas, then Miami. I see your temple is the best.
Atlanta temple is the best. Haribo. Of the temples he visited.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very kind. Parama Koruna Pahudui Jana. Two lords, Nitai Gaura Chandra, Nityananda Prabhu and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. They are very kind. They have appeared just to reclaim the fallen souls of this age. So, they are more kind than Krishna. Krishna is also very kind. He comes to deliver, but Krishna demands, first of all, surrender. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu does not demand surrender. He is so humble. So, take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and be happy. Thank you.
Srila Prabhupada ki. So that temple is, he named that temple New Panihati because he said it was in the mood of Nityananda. If one wants the mercy of Krishna, you need the mercy of Mahaprabhu. If you want the mercy of Mahaprabhu, you need the mercy of Nityananda. So the devotees there, Balavanta was president, became GBC, and when they came for Gorpanim Festival, I think that year maybe, or the following year, they stopped at Panihati Dam because they wanted to know, what is this Panihati? There's nothing's there. Practically in India, nothing was there. Everybody was neglecting all these things. You know, everybody wants to imitate the West. They thought that would make them happy. And they sat down, and it had to be 76 because they read the pastime. So not 75, in 1976. Because those books didn't get printed until later in that year, after they finished the marathon. And they described, there was nobody there, just them, a few children were running around playing, making disturbance. And some elderly people came, told them, sit down, stop, sit. And they sat and listened to them, even though they're reading in English and talking in English. And that was the beginning of the Panihati festival at that time. And then they came back, and everyone knows what is that past. We all know that pastime, right? Panihati Chittadiya? Who doesn't know? Okay. Anyway, what happened is Nityananda, he was in Panihati. Raghunath Das finally escapes from his home. Earlier, Mahaprabhu, he approached Mahaprabhu because he wanted to serve. But he is the acharya of renunciation. That is his mood. So when he approached Mahaprabhu, Mahaprabhu told him, no, you stay home and do your ordinary business. His family was very wealthy, like Binla or something, that kind of wealth. And so he went back, and for a year he tried to execute that order. And he even got entangled in so many headaches. His uncle was the tax collector, but he was cheating. You know, the method in those days was you collect the tax and you keep, I think they kept 10% or 20%. And you give the rest to the king. But he was keeping 20%. And the man who lost the job, he got envious. I see you cheating. So he arrested him. He tried to arrest him, but he couldn't. So he took his Raghunath Das. And Raghunath Das cleverly got out of that situation. And then he decided, let me go see Lord Nityananda. You see, Mahaprabhu wouldn't release me from this bondage of household life. Let me ask Nityananda. He's very merciful. Right? Even when Mahaprabhu did his first tour, he took a servant with him, Krishnadas. And the gypsies, very powerful gypsies, allured him and took him away. So Mahaprabhu had to stop and go save him. And when he came back, actually he wasn't upset, but to show the example, he was showing some anger, not anger, but being upset. He said, you take this Krishnadas. I don't want to see him anymore. And Nityananda, being very merciful, said, well, can I at least send him to tell your mother and everyone that you have arrived? You do with him whatever you like. You see. So even Nityananda, he saves the most fallen. I think that's why Prabhupada named Atlanta New Panihati. If you're very fallen, those deities will protect you, give you mercy. I was there for many years, so that's what helped me. They were merciful to me, fallen, that way. So Raghunath comes, and when he's coming to Panihati, Lord Nityananda is with his associate, and he's a cowherd. That's his mood. So all his associates in Chaitanya are also cowherd boys. Mahaprabhu's associates are gopis, Ramananda Roy, all these people. So he arrives, and he sees him from the distance, and he just falls down and pays obeisances immediately. And Lord Nityananda is always joking. Someone told him, just see, Raghunath Das has arrived. There's that thief. Bring him to me immediately. So, I don't know why he called him a thief, and he says, because you are a thief, I'm going to punish you. You must feed all my associates here, because they're cowherd boys, so they like to have picnic, like they used to do in Krishna Lila. So, and he put his foot on his head and gave him the mercy, empowered him. Do it immediately. So, if you want to have a quick feast, what do? Chip rice. Isn't it? You can soak it. You can add so many things to it because there's not much time. So it's a small village. Who's going to do what? Okay, get some chip rice. Bring these little sweet bananas, some different ingredients, and they begin to get giant pots and soak all the chip rice and ingredients. And then the word began to spread. There's a festival occurring. So more people are coming. You need more chip rice. More merchants came. As a matter of fact, some came, they began to cook and fry and so many things. And so they're making these earthen pots with this chitta dahi. One flavor is yogurt. Another one is condensed milk. And they're giving these to all the devotees. And there's so many devotees with this that there's no place to sit. So where do they go? They go into the Ganga. Some are standing, some are sitting, and everyone is enjoying. And then eventually when everyone is satisfied, Lord Nityananda says, this is such a nice festival. Let's bring Mahaprabhu, because he's in Shantipur. Shantipur to Panihati, walking, how much time? 2 days at least, huh? How many of you done Vrajamandala Parikram? You have to do it one time. 600 kilometers in 30 days, walking. You can do it. I did it. I thought I couldn't. The first day, Vṛndāvana Mathura. I was like, But when you come back, you're like, yeah, come on, let's go Mayapur. We don't have to stop here. You feel so strong. So you have to do, everyone should do that once. Very nice. See that? Camping, they camp, walking camp. Nice prasad, don't worry about prasad. 2 feast every day, huge. You'll need it because you're walking so much. People are with babies and strollers. I couldn't believe, they're bringing children. And they're pushing them in the fields and very excited. 1,500 devotees. Nice camp, showers, everything. So Mahaprabhu appears, but only the certain devotees could see him. And Mahaprabhu, and he's feeding him and all these things. So in Atlanta, they began to develop this festival, as some of you may have heard. We just had the festival here in Mayapur. How many people went? No? Didn't know, right? We need to make something where people can see what's happening all the time. One nice website, right? The school, the children put on the festival. I was there. Very nice. So it's come to the point now that we have painted pots and auctions and a very sweet festival. So in Atlanta, this began like that. They were doing it in a simple way. 2 or 3 pots, offering to the deities. Then Jayapataka Maharaj became GBC of Atlanta. Haribo. He's Festival Acharya. Right? This is what ISKCON. ISKCON is nothing but festivals. A reporter asked Prabhupada once, what do you all do for recreation? Because, you know, they see us like this. We look so serious. Hare Krishna, Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama. Surrender, surrender, right? So Prabhupada thought, he says, we chant, we dance, we take prasadam. Our process is nothing but recreation. Isn't it? That's the spiritual world. Every word is a song. Every walk is a dance. Every day is a festival. And we see that manifesting in Mayapur. So many festivals, isn't it? It's like you can't go to them all. I'm too tired. I can't do it. Yeah. So every day should be a festival. So we're just beginning. Every day there should be a festival. This is the spiritual world. Even the karmis would criticize us in the 70s. You people don't work. You're just living off others' work, because Prabhupada's walking in this beautiful park, and the devotees mention that to him. They criticize us, Prabhupada. They say we are parasites living off society. I said, yes, that's intelligent. You work like ass, and we enjoy. Now we tell you, come join us. No, you rather work like ass. So actually we're working, but that work they don't understand. So less intelligent. So this festival has grown. We're running out of time, so I went a little bit too far to describe it. But in the beginning, Maharaj comes and he started looking, because you read the description. It's very simple. He says, we're in America. Why are you making it like this? Do it in an American way. Because, in America, you can have anything, anytime, at a very low price. Like I'm in Mayapur, I'm like, man, I want some broccoli. It's not the season for broccoli. You can't have any. What? I'm used to just go get it. You can have, 5, 6 different kinds of mangoes anytime, because they just fly them in from all over the world. So the pots are very elaborate. Since we have a short time, let me just read a description of the pots. You want to hear that? So Mahaprabhu, he had condensed milk and yogurt with a few ingredients. In Atlanta, they have 3 main kinds: sweet, salty, and sour. And they make 6 of each category for 18 flavors. 18 flavors. So, and they've over the years, they name each flavor and pot that they make. Like one is called Raghunath Das Nityananda Prabhu Mahabhog Ki. It says, this ecstatic bhoga is sweetened with yogurt with fruits from East India tradition. What are those? Who knows? Okay, yeah. You can get all those things in Atlanta. It's amazing, isn't it? Anything like that. There's one big, they call it international shop. It must be big as Mayapur. That's how big it is. You walk in, it's just, you need GPS to find your way out. And they have everything. Anything you can think, from Russia, from here, from there, you can buy it. So it's perfect for Panihati. I think it was Krishna's arrangement for this festival. So they have that in Western tradition, meaning pears, peaches, plums, blueberries, like that. He said it is integration of all but total compatibility. They mix them in such a way that they're not contrasting in taste. It is soft and nectarian for the satisfaction of the Panchatattva. It has varieties of nectarian flavors, just as the Panchatattva is comprised of all the 5 rasas of devotional service. So when they make the pot, this is what they're thinking. And then I'll just name some of the others. I might read a few. There's a Raghunath Das Nityananda Prabhu Mahabhog pot. Navapanihati Premapal Mahabhog. Raghava Pandit's Joli. Let's read that one, huh? This bhoga is sweetened yogurt with predominant presence of dried fruits available in New Panihati, which means dates and apricots and so many things you can, cranberries. Just as Raghava Pandit's Joli could last for a long time, dried fruits are preserved in sunlight and have been kept to maintain it in this tradition. It includes dried fruits, nuts from all over the world, which are available here in the United States. It is offered in order to follow in the footsteps of Raghava Pandit in love for the satisfaction of the Lordship Sri Sri Gaur Nitai. Then we have a Srila Prabhupada's Madhu Smita Amrita, Anandambudi Ocean of Nectar Mahabhog. Getting hungry, huh? Then we have salty yogurt preparations. Nu Panihati Jagannath Padamukha Bhakti Lata Mahabhog. Panihati Gora Mandala Madhava Alata Mahabhog. Murari Sevak Bhakti Lata. Who knows where Murari Sevak? That is our farm in Mississippi. So each temple will have their pot they make, because they grow so many things there. We'll read that one. It says, near to the sacred temple of Nupaneti Dham lies the holy land of Murari Sevak. This is in Tennessee, I'm sorry. There, their lords Nitai, Gaurachandra are worshipped with natural products of the forest, fields, and valleys. This natural salty yogurt salad offering is dedicated to expanding the devotional Kripa, Bhakti Lata, in devotional service to their Lord Sri Sri Gaura Chandra, Nitai Gaura Chandra. The preparation is comprised of typical salad ingredients normally found in Murari area, southeast United States. Then Chaitanya Dravida Harinam, which is hot and spicy for those from South India. Okay. Shri Gauranga Prem Asura Palavan, ecstasy. Nu Talavan Vane Vilas. And then condensed milk, which is sweet one, sweet. Kira Sindhu Mada Sankirtan. Danda Mahotsava. Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, which are the deities of Atlanta. Damyanti Panadana. Lord Gaurnitai's cowherd boy picnic pastime Mahabhog. And finally, Srila Prabhupada's Bhakti Rasa Sagara. So in this way, every year they keep expanding and perfecting. They make about 300 pots. Now they have a pot that's that tall and this wide, and you can't even carry it. They have 3 like that. And His Holiness is in the kitchen. And he's also on the altar offering, doing the artik. And then he auctions the pots. And then he sits under one big tree in the yard of all 18 flavors, and he's distributing. This is the mood. Everybody takes, and you distribute to everyone. There's no need for a feast. You just enjoy all these 18 flavors. And you can sit there, because Atlanta is not so many devotees, so everyone can sit like Nityananda's pastime with Maharaj, enjoying this prasad. So very nice. If you get the chance, you have to go experience that 3-day festival. And they auction the pots too. Sometimes they'll get one pot $20,000 in the auction. People get so excited they can't stop. Get more! No! So they started auctioning here and also in Mayapur. So last year, 15,000 rupees was the top. This year I got someone to give 26. It's increasing. We start 1,000 rupees for, 26,000 rupees. Okay, give him that. So this Maharaj's mother, she started the auction. She said, why are you giving them away? They should pay for these pots. Good idea. Temple needed the money anyway. So we'll remember today's pastime, and maybe at home you can make some chittadahi for your deities, right? Only takes 2 minutes. Soak it, put some dry fruit, put it on your altar. Chant Nitai Gora, Paru Karuna, and remember Lord Nityananda. They're having a festival down there too still. I think it's the 5th day today if you want to get down there. Today is probably the final day. So, Shri Nityananda Ram Ki! Shri Panihati Mahotsava Festival Ki! All glories of the Summa Devotee.